go, Shrek! Come on, give me a kiss!
People love my blowjob face.
It's a dictionary of dicks. What's wrong with this?
And mostly when I play, I'm like, I'm blowing shit up!
We have a self-jerking machine.
That's hot!
Aw, Mario, stop touching me. I'm your brother Luigi.
Pre-recorded live from across these great United States! Sometimes like to play with other things, but let's play with ourselves! We're getting boners.
We're getting nasty.
I meant to say we're getting it down pat, but I woke up like a couple hours ago. My brain's still like, I'll catch up with you later, Chief.
Catch up with you later, Chief. I just thought of ketchup. I'm sorry.
I had ketchup on a sandwich before this. More than that, I'm not that poor. It was just a ketchup sandwich. Thank God.
Ketchup sandwich with whole bread. Ugh. Whole bread. Well, yeah, not just half of it.
No, my dad has always been like, you gotta have the stuff with the whole grains. It's good for you. And I'm like, nah, I like the processed stuff, thanks.
Good. Yeah, my parents are always like, well, I mean, at least they buy me bread, but, like, you know what? Now I feel bad about complaining. I won't complain. They buy me bread. I'm like, I want that white bread, man. But white bread does taste way better. Hello, folks. Welcome to...
Was that racist?
I guess so. I guess I'm racist against bread. Sorry, whole wheat bread. Just not tasting good.
Hey everybody, unlike Gamerpixie, I'm doing the non-racist cast. Welcome to episode 22 of Let's Play With Ourselves.
Yeah, where we were just sitting here being racist towards bread. Probably not harmfully. I mean,
somewhere there's some bread crying. I'd be like, there, and then I'd put some meat on it and eat it.
What the bread goes and bleaches its skin.
Now I feel bad for the bread. It's not even real, and I'm like, no, bread, be who you are. You don't have to change for anyone.
Dude, bread, don't change for anyone, because, like, why the hell would you want to be eaten, okay? And, well, really,
but if it's lady bread,
do you want to die? I don't think lady bread wants to be ingested. How can you gender bread?
Put a dick on it?
Dingle. Do you put dick on your bread? You're like, I can do this, so it's a guy bread.
I'll make you a sandwich, and then you'll find out. You'll be like, why does this taste like Paul?
Paul, how did you do that? I mean, like...
You got dick in my peanut butter. You got peanut butter in my dick. Ew.
Okay, so we're never having sandwiches at Paul's house, ever. There's just no way.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to start the podcast like that at all.
It's fine. How was your week, my friend?
It was very, very productive. The last few weeks... I've been doing a ton of Let's Playing, which isn't new, but I realized, like, a week or two ago...
That you really love me.
Well, yes. But that,
okay.
What are you laughing at?
You're like, I realized that I was, like, going for a heartbreaking moment, but I did.
That I had, like, 8 or 9 Let's Plays going on at the same time.
Ooh.
And I just was like, this is too many, so I've just been knocking them out. Last night I finished Ghost Control. A couple weeks ago I finished Star Wars game, then a Star Trek game. So it's nice getting them done, and I've just been super busy doing that for the most part. What about you?
Well, what I've been doing, and I have to comment real quick, it feels so good to complete stuff, right? I just beat Silent Hill 4 today, so I'm like, yes, I completely understand. Well, yeah, I just beat Silent Hill 4 today. Huh, that's new. Recorded that. I'm gonna start another Nancy Drew, because they're short and sweet and simple. And the week has been really shitty, but whatever.
I'm sorry to hear that's been shitty.
Well, life is shitty sometimes.
You sound like me. That's what... When I'm not doing LPs and people hang out with me, or they're like, how was the stream last night? I'm like, it was okay. They're like, did you have fun? I'm like, life's shitty. I'm always emo about everything.
Paul's a pretty emo guy, but, we love him. And he makes us smile, so how emo can you be?
So you laugh at my pain? Is that what you're saying? I'm so mad.
Well, if it's funny. No, kidding. No, I love you, man. Yeah, so did that. And I wrote down a list of things to talk about, and you know what I forgot to put on there? I forgot to put on that I watched Barbie Diamond World. And, it was an okay movie. It was literally okay. It used Greek terms in it for music and muses, and I thought that was really cool. And it's a Barbie movie, and there's these two British guys who are like, oh, we're so British, and we're twins, so we're gonna fall in love with you and your brown beauty friend. And I say that because he said brown beauty, so I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like, wow, way to point out that she's black. But, you know,
so
Barbie's kind of racist.
Did they want to gangbang Barbie, or one wanted to date Barbie and one wanted to date her friend?
Yeah, 1 and 1. It was the perfect, I have my best friend with me, and these twin brothers decided to show up who were totally gay, in my opinion. They were very gay, but I loved them to pieces. I was like, oh yeah, you totally want to date Barbie. But no. And it was a good movie. It was about these two girls who own a flower shop, which sounds sexual, but really it wasn't. And they just were selling flowers and singing, and the whole point was they're best friends. And they find this magical mirror that has a girl stuck in it, and then the point of the movie is to how to get the girl out of the mirror and how to destroy one of these evil muses. And I quite liked it.
Do you break the mirror to get her out? Because that's what I think I would try. Or would that kill her if you did that?
That would trap her in the mirror eternally.
Get me out! I got it! Smash! That didn't work. Uh-oh.
She did tell them. I think Teresa was like, maybe if we break the mirror. And then she was like, no, don't do that. I thought about that. It's not a good idea. And there's a dragon in that, too. But it was a doofy dragon. It wasn't one of your Skyrim dragons. Which would have been really cool to see, actually. But whatever. Barbie, what you gonna do? So Barbie Butt Diamond Castle was great.
Did you give it a rating out of like 5 stars? A pixie rating?
Oh, it gets 4. Oh no, 4 out of 5. Sorry, I was gonna say 4 out of 10. What would be the equivalent of 4 out of 10 to something out of 5?
2.
Like 2. Oh, you're right. Yeah, about. Well, maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe a 2.3.
You're like, well, you're gonna overthink it now. It's all right.
Probably,
you're saying
though.
it's probably not everybody's movie.
It was a bad movie. Like, it was one of the bad Barbie movies, but it was good because the songs were okay and the animation was all right. And I thought the fact that the girls could play their own instruments and they kind of got out of their own problems was really cool instead of having someone save them, which I'm not really against having someone to help save you, but it's fresh. It's refreshing to, like, have them do that themselves. So
Wait, does Barbie need to be rescued usually in Barbie movies?
Sort of. There's always some sort of peril where one character is trapped somewhere, or there's like something's about to happen and then you gotta save him. And Barbie saves her best friend, which I thought was cool. Oh, and here's a bonus review. I actually saw Barbie in the Magic Diary after that. And not to bore the whole podcast with Barbie stuff, but that movie almost gets a 9 out of 10 because the animation is fucking hilarious. Their hair moves without their head moving, and I don't mean like in the wind. Like, literally, their hair is like a different physics engine, and it moves. Like, there's a part where Ken's hair moves, and you can see more of his head. It's really nice. I quite liked it. I recommend you watching it. And there's no real magic in it either. There's just Barbie being like, duh, I was capable of doing things? Gah.
That sounds disappointing if there's no magic, and magic's in the title.
Yeah, that was pretty disappointing. And then Netflix is funny. They're like, what does Barbie want to be when she grows up? In this movie, she finds out. And that's exactly, like, not what happens in the movie. So, you gotta love Netflix.
Speaking of watching things on Netflix, last night I finally sat down on Netflix to watch Django, and
Ooh.
I loved it. I'm not a big Tarantino fan, unless it's Reservoir Dogs, I love that, but I love spaghetti westerns, and he did an awesome job, and it's got good violence, it's got a good story, and I get done watching it, and you know how Netflix will right away have your video gets done, and they'll be like, you could watch this next.
Yeah.
So I watched this really bloody, violent western about racism and slavery, and they're like, maybe you'd like to watch Fuller House, the Full House next thing. And I'm like, what?
They're trying to push that so bad. And you know why? Because it's fucking dumb. I'm sorry. I watched an episode, and it was boringer than Full House was.
Full House wasn't that good to begin with, though, so...
No, it wasn't. But it had Bob Saget, so, I mean, that was kind of cool. You could look and be like, hey, that's Bob Saget. And then, you know when you see a show, and you're kind of like,
see,
well,
back in the day,
guy.
You maybe were too young to remember it or around. You could do that on Full House or America's Funniest Video, so you had 2 days of the week you could get your Bob Saget.
They had your Bob Saget. I love the way you say Saget. Bob Saget rode a dragon into the alley.
I would have watched everything up
to
until the last part. I was like, what is this film?
Well, he rode into an alley to defeat the lead singer of...
What I would like to see is how many people knew him only from Full House and then went to see his stand-up and were blown away by how dirty and adult his stand-up is.
Dude, he's pretty... I didn't know he did that till, like... Well, I didn't learn that till I was, like, 16, and I was pretty shocked. Because I do actually remember watching reruns of America's Funniest Home Videos with him on it, and that's where I first saw him, and then I realized he was on... Full House. So yeah, I am old enough to remember. Or I don't know, ABC was nice and they rerun that. But yeah, that guy, you know, you see him on Full House hugging the family members, and you think that guy's got a dirty mind. He's hugging those kids, and he's not a bad guy, by the way, but he's just, oh my goodness, what a dirty comedian. My stars. Yeah, so Full House was, like, dumb, and so is Fuller House. But tell us what you think about the show if you guys watch it. Comment below.
Yeah, I don't know how much of our audience watches that. I wouldn't think a lot, but...
Probably not, but if you want to just go watch it and then tell us what you think, or you don't have to, but I'd still like to Wait, when it recommended it, did you watch it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
no, I went to bed because at that point it was like 2 p.m. or something. I was like, I gotta get some sleep because we're podcasting tonight, and well, I want to watch it anyway. I didn't watch the original Full House. Well, I take that back. The original Full House, I saw the pilot when it was first on because I was, I don't know, I was a little kid and I just turned on the TV and I was like, what's this? I'm like, this is horrible, and then it got huge. And I was like, okay. It
was a really popular show. I'm not sure why. I think it may have just been like well, there's a lot of shows I don't know where they were really popular.
I think it was clean, cheesy humor you could watch with your family. So if you had, like, a family, you're like, well, my kids can watch this, so...
True that. And then somehow 2.5 Men was really popular, too. I know that's not clean, but I'm just saying, like, what the hell? There's both spectrums.
I used to date a girl who loved that show, and I hate 2.5 Men. I'm not... I am not gonna... It's a shitty written show.
Yeah, it is.
And I hate John Cryer. Nothing against John Cryer. But there's an episode of The Simpsons where Lisa figures out a pheromone that bullies smell and they makes them want to punch people. I think I mentioned that before. When I see John Cryer, I just want to go punch him. He didn't do anything to me, but I just want to punch him so hard in the face.
Sometimes a show can do that to you. I know I watched Roseanne and I wanted to go smack Roseanne. I did. I was like... Fucking voice that cow on the Home on the Range movie, you cow.
I have seen that film.
And then she goes, rah, I hate my kids and husband. That hurts. I'm Roseanne. I'm clipping the mic, but I don't give a fuck. That's how it played over here. No, but seriously, Roseanne was a funny show. Because what I mean by funny is that I really like John Goodman, and I felt really bad for him because his wife's a bitch.
I like how the sitcom, the podcast tonight has become 90s sitcoms.
It has!
Roseanne was weird in that the first couple of seasons, it was both funny and one of the most realistic depictions of a part of life that you normally didn't have on TV.
It was realistic.
And then by the time you get to the end, it is just absurdist weirdness.
And that's the stuff I remember watching the most is the later seasons of it. Because... You know what? That's true, because I went on like a Netflix binge when it was on there, and I watched, I think, all the seasons, and all the seasons I remember are the last ones because they were so awful. Like, the beginning of the show is like, you know, like, whatever, it's fine. What are other weird shows? Family Matters was an okay show.
Yeah, that certainly goes with the Full House. Yep, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers, that other shitty one with Susan Summers. What was it called? The Shitty Bunch? Something like that.
The Brady Bunch?
No.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I forget what it's called. Somebody in the comments will remember and be like, oh, it was...
Yeah, please do. Yeah, so 90 shows. They grew up... I didn't grow up with... Well, is Family Matters 90s? I thought that was 80s.
I believe it was on in the early 90s, too, because that is what made me have a social life.
Everything. I'm trying to sing Family Matters, but I can't.
So the reason that show made me get a social life is I remember I I don't remember if I was in middle school or like a freshman in high school, and I'm at home with my family, and the TV's on, and that's on, and there's this thing where Steve Urkel's got to dance. He's like, do the Urkel! And I think, oh my god, this is what I'm doing with my life. I'm hanging out with my family on a Friday night watching this, and then after that, every Friday night and Saturday night for like the rest of high school, and after that, I was always hanging out with people. I was like,
really, so that encouraged you?
yes, I was like, I'm not going to stay home and watch this crap. I'm going to go, and I did, and then I'd go hang out with friends or have friends here, and we'd play board games or Dungeons and Dragons or just run around and cause problems. So in that way, Family Matters helped me get a social life, because I was like, I'm not going to sit around and waste my time watching this.
But it has Urkel in it.
Don't get me wrong, there were funny episodes of Family Matters, but there was a certain point it jumped the shark and became the Steve Urkel show, and they ran out of plots.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, I guess I need to watch that show, and hopefully it'll give me a social life, because I don't have one.
That is one of the more successful spin-offs of all time, though, because that was a spin-off of Perfect Strangers, because the mom was originally on Perfect Strangers as the elevator operator.
Oh my god. Any other trivia?
No.
He ends up, he's like, I don't know, I don't care what the fuck you think I am, girl. We're like, trivia master? Well, we went from Bart, Bubby, Bubba, Diamond Castle to 90s show.
What you did right there, I do that so often when I'm Let's Playing, especially when, I don't know if you ever have it where you can hear yourself via the mic for some recordings.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes it throws me off, because I'll talk into the mic and I can hear myself in the headphones, and sometimes it'll throw me off, and I'll be like, blah, 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 and then like I just trip on all my words.
I just decided that Bubba Divid Castle just works, because who cares what the title is of that fucking movie?
I don't know, in the podcast here, if I put the name of the movie, watch us get more listens than anything else we've done.
Oh yeah, Barbie in the Diamond Castle, and people be like, what's this? Oh, YouTube has the full movie? Because our podcasts are usually an hour long, and then they'll be like, okay, Susie, sit in front of here and watch this, and I'll be like, fucking girl.
And judging from the reactions I've seen on your Barbie videos, some people will be like, how dare you say something bad about Barbie?
Yes, how dare you? This game's good. I don't know what you're talking about. You fell through a platform 5 times. This game is still good. I did that too, but this game is still good. I know people do that about other games.
Well, I did. Gamerpixie's most watched video is a Barbie video, right?
Yep.
I was watching that last week, and you mentioned something just nicely. It's an older video now about how it's not the best game, and then the comments, there's so many people that got butthurt about that. And it's not like you're being super mean.
Nope, I'm not. But people do that about games that are like, I don't know. I'm finding that, and this is something I really appreciate about you, my dear friend Paul, is that you're able to admit that this is something I didn't realize was in such shortage when it comes to humans, but like being able to admit something you like might be flawed or might be bad is like apparently really hard for people to do. And
it's true.
And like I really appreciated that you do that, because I swear to God, like I feel like I'm the only one who does that. I mean, well, you do that too, but where you're just like, I really like this, but it's also shit.
People get personally invested, and they think if you criticize a thing, you're criticizing them.
Yeah, you're attacking them or something, which you're like, no, I'm not. And also, everything I say is in my opinion. It's not fact. So if anyone listening is upset that I don't like Fuller House, it's okay. It's just my opinion, all right?
You
can like her costumes.
You're also a lot nicer than I am, though.
Are you? Am I?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Like,
I can be kind of a bitch.
A long time ago, I made this documentary on NAFTA, and it's on my main channel. I made it a long time ago, and it showed it at some film festivals. And so recently, this week, somebody watched it, and he was like, no, free trade is great for these, and these reasons. And he listed all these hypothetical reasons, and I just got annoyed.
What?
And I was like, do you have any statistics to back that up? I was like, I was like, theory is nice. Hypothetical?
No, I know what that means. I know what hypothetical means, but I just am surprised is all.
Well, you shouldn't be surprised by dumb comments that happen all the time.
I know, but that's kind of insanity. Whatever. Especially something that has, like, scientific, like, or, like, historical backing to it, whereas, like, a Barbie game is solely on opinion. Although, I guess the gameplay is historical backing that it is fucking awful.
Are there any historical Barbie ones, like she fights in the Civil War? Oh my god, Ken's head got taken off by a cannonball.
Well, there's one. I think it's they were gonna start one is the Joan of Arc magical shoe adventure.
What?
But it never went anywhere. It really the project got burnt. That was really, really, really bad taste. But I don't give a fuck. That's how we do it over here.
I think enough time has eclipsed since Joan of
Elapsed,
Arc. Yeah,
yes.
where nobody's gonna be like super mad.
No, it's gonna be like that part in that episode in The Simpsons where, well, that was so messed up. But what was it? Lisa was Joan of Arc, and God was talking to her, but he also talked to someone else. And he's like, I didn't realize you were in the same room. That was so messed up, but it was funny. Yes, it's been long enough. We can see time heals all wounds. Just except for the wounds that are about to be open. Hey, did you see the Ghostbusters movie trailer?
Unfortunately, yes.
Hey, and you know what? You know what I gotta say? I think it was kind of cheeky of them in the beginning to try and get everyone's nostalgia nerves a-tingling by playing the theme in piano and all slow like that. I thought they were like, look, this is coming back. And you're like, no, it's not. What are your thoughts about it? I'm gonna go see it, so...
I might watch it when it's on Netflix. I definitely won't go see it. I mean, I was skeptical ahead of time because the original one is awesome. And so when I saw there was going to be the trailer for the new one, I was like, okay, I want to see this. And then when I watched it, I was like, oh, this looks like stereotypical crap. I mean, it doesn't look like a horrible movie, but it doesn't look like a good movie.
I am surprised and kind of disappointed because I thought it would be worse. Like, it looks like a bad movie, but I was hoping it would be worse. That way, when I did go to see it, it'd be more cringeworthy and it would be more fun to watch. But it looks like it's just gonna be a bad, like... It almost reminds me of, like, one of those sitcoms that came out between the year 2000 and, like, 2007 or something. I don't know, it just... and it's filled with gratuitous, like, oh my god, like, from what I can see, it's like, I'm the shy girl, I'm the nutty girl, I'm this girl, I'm really good at physics, because, yeah, you know what, I don't care, see, we're pulling this into political for 2 seconds, there's something that really annoys me, and it's when you're way too obvious with making a point, and that movie looks like it's gonna be way too obvious with making points, and that's really stupid. Also, here's an idea. Why did they have to remake a freaking Ghostbusters movie? Why couldn't they just make a new movie with an all-female cast and say, hey, well, actually, I don't mind what the cast gender is, but... and just say, hey, this is really, really, really inspired by Ghostbusters. Because Ghostbusters is one of those movies, in my opinion, it only works at the time it was made. And you already have those set characters. Like, there's already been an opinion and an idea and an emotion attached to Ghostbusters. Why make a new thing? Because you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, honestly. In my opinion, okay?
I think you're right, though. I mean, because everyone's going to compare it to the first one, whether they want to or not. And the first one...
and they should, honestly.
The first one is written super well. It's got an awesome cast. It's got really good charm. If you look at Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd and Rick Moranis and Bill Murray, they'd all worked with each other in some different ways, and they've got really good chemistry. And then when you throw in Ernie Hudson, who's an amazing actor, it just works really well. And from what I've seen of the trailer, and maybe the movie will be a lot better, the trailer doesn't give off any kind of really strong characters. It gives off stereotypes, like you said.
Very big stereotypes. Also, I'd like to point out that the funniest character, in my opinion, is the most racist one, and it's the black lady. I would really like to point out that... Sorry, what's the name of the actor of the black guy in the old movies? What is his name?
Ernie Hudson.
Ernie Hudson, that's his name. Did you notice how when he was in the movie, he was just a guy that wanted a job and wanted money? He wasn't like, hey, I'm a Hollywood black, you know?
I know, he didn't play a stereotypical character. He played the ever guy. He's the guy you connected with. He's like the guy you're like,
he's the normal one.
Yeah, and he did such a good job of it. And when him and I think it's him and Ray are driving, and he asks Ray about the Bible and the end of days, it's like a really heavy scene, and he's got he's bringing philosophy into it. And then in the new trailer, it's like, I'm sassy black girl you've seen in every movie.
Yeah, I'm a racist stereotype, which honestly, I'm not even gonna lie, like, racism I find is really funny, but that doesn't mean that I can't step back and be like, that's fucking cheap and stupid. You know? In fact, she might be the funniest character out of that because she is oh, hell no, my friend just got possessed. Like, really? Oh,
Did you ever watch The Whitest Kids You Know?
No, I don't think I have.
They always had this character, this black woman who did cameos, who played that stereotypical part, and all she would ever do would be like, "Oh hell no!" And then, like, literally, this is in the Ghostbusters trailer with a main character.
A main character too, and oh man,
it's like somebody wrote, if you're really going to do something, be like, we want to break barriers and gender equality. Then why not let the white person be the crazy one and let one of the black people be one of the serious ones? Because in the original Ghostbusters, Ernie Hudson's not comic relief.
He's normal.
He's a regular dude who's kick-ass.
He's the normalist guy. Also, he doesn't know... Another thing that can be completely interpreted as racist is that he doesn't know the streets of New York, you know, because the black lady does, because she's black, you know? Black people really know about New York.
What they really see, if I would have written that and you're going to do that, I would just say she knows the transit system because that's where she works. She'd be like, oh, you take this train. You'd be like, oh, okay, that's cool. But
no, but Paul, she's black, so she knows about all the ghosts, the mugging ghost. And you know what? I know I'm saying that, and it's like fucking racist, but I'm just doing what Hollywood fucking showing me, okay? And it's funny, like, that I even get offended about it, because I liked Ghostbusters. Well, you know, the reason this offends me differently is because when I was a kid, and, you know, this could be the same for other people, but when I was a kid, I wanted to be a Ghostbuster, and to grow up and see a movie about female Ghostbusters, you're like, wow, that's really cool, and then you see it, and you're like, whoa, holy shit, why am I not surprised that this was this looks like a really bad idea, and it looks like you guys are gonna fuck up horribly. But I will see it in the theaters, so we'll have another Pixie reviews. Fucking hates this movie. Blah, 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 blah.
I'll admit, I got all nerdy too when they're like, yeah, woman Ghostbuster. I'm gonna be like, if you watch the cartoons and you watch the Extreme Ghostbusters, there was a female Ghostbuster and there was a guy who was in a wheelchair. And I was like, come on.
Yes. So, that's funny. I remember that. Actually found that on tapes somewhere. So it looks pretty bad. It's not.
The other thing too is if you look at the original Ghostbusters, like Venkman, the main character, you could argue, he's a total sleazeball, and that's what makes it work. Mm-hmm. In the trailer, like, none of them look like that. I mean,
no.
They don't seem to have the same kind of character. It's like you said, it's just kind of the boring stereotypical
Well, there's
stuff.
like 3 characters that have the same character, but they're just stretched out. Like, there's one character who's like...
Lady Egon?
Yeah. Well, there's I'm the fat one. I'm the black one. I'm the skinny, mousy one. Is my dad singing? You could probably hear my dad singing. Oh, God, you guys get a little extra here. Shut up, Dad! No, I'm kidding. Sing to your heart's content. And then there's the one that... Hold on. 2 seconds. What the fuck you got? What the shit is going on outside? We have a drug deal.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear any of it, so...
Oh, okay, cool. Well, maybe the voice is in my head. Sorry, there's people making sound and I could hear it. But, yeah, you have the mousy lady, I'm crazy, but I'm also kind of mousy. And what is with making female characters not have confidence? Is that, like, a chick flick thing? Because I sincerely hate it more than anything. It's like, at least have one character and not make the character who's insanely racist, like, based off of racial humor, like, the confident one. You can make her confident. I mean, she has no identity besides... In the trailer, she has no identity besides she's black and she's funny. I'm being completely honest.
The movie might be different, but from the trailer, you were exactly right.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, black lady. Which is pretty...
And I really agree with you, too, is I wish they hadn't done a reboot. I think I would have been more okay if, like, why not just say this is in the same... Especially, like you said, in the preview, the trailer, they're like, hey, remember 30 years ago? But it doesn't count. It's a reboot. Like, why not just make this 30 years in the future and one of them's, like, I don't care, Egon's kid, and then the rest of them are just brand new people and just have new characters in a new situation.
Like, why not? Well, I don't know. Well, I know why, because I feel like this movie was made to prove a point, and I'll have to see the movie to actually confirm that.
I think you're right from what I've seen, and I saw a production picture where they had like the Lady Ghostbusters and all the women on the production staff behind them, and like it seems like the whole point of the film is vagina power, and I have no problem with that if the story is good, but if the story doesn't look good, and why not tell an original story?
Yeah, well, whenever you do something based off of that, then it's always bad. I'm sorry, it's always bad. Whenever you're like, oh, I'm gonna make... Well, sorry, I can see your hands up. I want you to say it.
Well, I think about if it was different. Like, Mary Poppins is a damn good film, isn't it?
Yeah.
What if I'm like, okay, I'm gonna remake Mary Poppins? You'd be like, why? No, it's already... You're not gonna do better. I'm like, but hear this. It's gonna be a dude. It's Gary Poppins. You'd be like, what
Gary
the
Poppins.
fuck?
You would be like, what the fuck is this?
It's Julie Andrews as Mary Poppins. There ain't no Gary Poppins.
And it's directed by Michael Bay. God.
The kids blew up. Shit.
See, the kids blew up, and Gary Poppins is having sex with Mr. Binks.
All right,
Mrs. Binks.
You just made a film. No, this is better the other way. You made a film I might watch. What the hell?
I would watch it tongue in cheek, but
my kids blew up. No, let me comfort you. Oh, something else is about to blow up.
Down. No, but yeah, no, it really was made to prove a point. Okay, yeah, I have to see it. Although the trailer really screams like, oh my god, like I don't know. And you know what? I don't want to say, because you know, and I won't say that you can't comment on this because you're a guy, because you totally can. The reason I'm saying what I'm about to say is because I grew up with a lot of, well, obviously like girly media, and I don't want to sound like a bitch, but that whole, you're really good at physics, you're really good at science, like there's nothing wrong with that, but oh my god, is that like the most overused thing for, why did they do that in the trailer too? Why was that like, you're really good at physics?
It's true. In the original
it's like,
Ghostbusters,
so?
I don't remember them saying, Egon, you're really good at math.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it's like, why are you telling us, is this all her character? Is that she's mousy and she has no confidence, but she's really good at science because girls are afraid to do science, which is something I'm told, but I'm not entirely sure if that's true because I was never afraid to do science. I've been told that girls are afraid to do science because I don't know. Do
you feel... See, I can't answer this because I'm a guy. We don't have this problem. Do you feel when you saw that trailer that you were being pandered to as a sex?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yes, I do. No, because when I grew up, that was like the thing. It was always like... And this is going to sound... Okay, you know, I don't want to get too far into the politics because this is a fun podcast, but I'm going to point it out. Like, when I grew up, there was always this, like, girls, you're bad at math, so you need to show men that you're good at math. I swear to God, this is something I was, like, taught when I grew up. Like, my parents never taught me this, but this is something that media taught me, and something that other moms' friends, like, because I was homeschooled, and my friends would be homeschooled, and we'd do school, like, at each other's houses and stuff, they'd say that, too, and it was always something, like, people think you're really bad at this, and you have to prove yourself. And it bled into media too. You'd always have the girl who's like, oh, I'm really, it's usually science, because I guess there's not enough girls in science or something, which is, that's another politics thing that I'm not going to go into because it's fucking stupid. And if anyone wants to hear it, then you can go ahead and leave a comment, but I don't want to feel like getting that angry today. But yeah, no, it felt like pandering, because I swear, like, throughout my entire life of growing up and watching things for girls, there's always that, like, there's the one girl that's really good at science or math, and then there's this girl, and that's her personality, though, which is also very pandering, because it's like, look, this girl did A and B, you can do A and B, and I'm like, I already fucking knew that, thanks. Like, I feel insulted that someone thinks that they need to tell me that I can do something because some, like, non-defined person did it. Like, that's very insulting. Like, I'm not smart, but I'm not that stupid, okay? And it's not because I'm a girl. I say that because...
No, I was just curious because, like, I think I would... As a guy, we don't have that problem because we're in most of the old media. Not so much... You know, YouTube's different where you can have women succeed and there's actually a platform to do stuff, which is harder to do in Hollywood. But that being said, like, if somebody made a film and they're like, here's a film for guys now, and it felt like it was pandered, I'd be like, I'm not watching that. That looks boring.
Yeah, that's another reason I kind of want to watch Ghostbusters, is to see how pandering this movie actually is, because as soon as they did open up with, "You're the best physics, excuse me, it was astrophysics or something, ever," and then the other one was like, "You're a really good engineer," I was just like, oh, and this happens to be relevant because a lot of people are complaining that women don't hold enough, what's the word, jobs or positions in these particular fields. That's another reason why it feels like pandering, is that it's like, look, since the Ghostbuster did it, you can do it too, darling. I'd be like, ever thought that women may not be as interested in that stuff? Just saying! But whatever, sorry, that's going way too far into politics in my opinion.
Well, that's alright, I was just curious, so...
Oh, you're cool. Well, yeah, so this is interesting. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I will go into the movie theater with a notepad, and I will write down how I've reacted to scenes, and I'll do it in like 2 or 3 words.
That makes me laugh because I know Gamerpixie, because if there's something that's super pandering or annoying, she'll get that look on her face and be like,
Well, yeah, I will be.
And then that'll be the kind of thing where she'll be nice about it, but then when you ask her and she opens up, she'll be like, and then another thing they did.
Be like, and I did like this, and this happened, and why the hell does... Yeah, well, I don't know. It's my firm belief that when you point, like, to, in my opinion, to get over, like, if there really is a problem, to get over it, it's not that you don't talk about it, but it's you work towards fixing that problem instead of just, like, what's the word? Oh, man. I'm trying to think of a good example without being too blunt about it, but it's kind of like... You know what? I'm just gonna go for it. My opinion on racism is that, like, if the more you talk about race, the more racism is still gonna be there. And that's me, where it's kind of like... I do know that sounds kind of weird, because it's like, don't ignore racism, and I'm not saying to do that, but I'm saying, like, if you're in a world where you can just... by moving forward and being yourself and doing your own thing is more powerful to ending a certain discrimination, stick with that. Don't be talking shit. Sorry, that's me.
I like it. That's the end of our 1980s cartoon thing after we've seen Gamerpixie and Friends. Don't be talking shit, kids.
Yeah, don't be talking shit, kids. Alright, so you got a piece of paper right there, man.
Well, you want to do some of the... Well, we don't have normal questions. We have scenarios this week.
We do have scenarios, which I can't wait to abuse.
Alright, so I will start with the first one, if that's alright.
Alrighty, baby.
Dr. Potato MD says, I have a question/challenge for you, Gamer Paul and SuperPixie.
Ooh, a challenge.
I was like, oh, he switched their names up for a moment. I was
Yeah,
gonna be
he
like,
did.
You better know my name, motherfucker. See, that's my anger issue problem. He's been watching my videos forever, and he's being, like, fun and, like, coy by mixing names up. And I'm like, motherfucker, you are banned everywhere. He's like, dude, I'm being cool. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's pretty hilarious, because I was like, that's so cute, and you're like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck you doing?
You are approached by a cat. This is his scenario. The cat walks up to you and speaks. He says, I am a magic cat and can manipulate reality. I will bestow complete world peace for 1 month for each minute that you let me lick your butthole. No violence, no starvation, no death. All for the low, low price of a nice butt licking. You have no proof that this cat is magic, other than the fact that he speaks. Do you agree to his proposal? And if so, how long would you let him lick your butthole?
Well...
I had read this wrong. Originally, I thought it had to lick his butthole for world peace.
That's funny, because I don't know how you could have read it that way.
Because I assumed that would be the grossest thing. It's like, how long would you lick the cat's butthole for world peace?
It does make it way grosser if you were to do that.
World peace for a month if he licks my butthole? I guess so. Okay, go for it, man.
Yeah, me too. I mean, like, the worst that would happen is you give you a little love bite.
The worst that happens is somebody walks in and is like, why is that cat licking your butt, world peace?
Well, I'd turn over to him and be like, you fucking tell him.
Meow.
And then he'd be like, meow, and I'd be like, fuck you. Yeah.
It's all happened again.
Yeah, so yeah, I'll let it, well, how long to lick our butt? Is it like one of those things where he shows up once and he's like, I'll lick your butthole for 5 minutes for 5 months of world peace sort of thing? Or will he, like, come back?
He just said, 1 month for, 1 month of world peace for every full minute he lets you lick your butthole. And how long would you let him lick your
He lets
butthole?
you lick your butthole.
Yeah, so... So, like, if you let them lick your butthole for 10 minutes, there's 10 months of world peace.
Yeah. Well, like, that's actually not bad at all. So, like, yeah, maybe a 20-minute butthole licking would be creepy as fuck, but 20...
Not feeling
20
good?
months,
I don't know.
24, let's make it 2 years of world peace. And if it didn't work, then rim job from a cat. It's like, not the sexy. It's quite disgusting. And they have little tongues. But,
yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm totally with you on that. So
yeah, 24 minutes, I guess.
All right, should I move on to the next one? I can't believe we agreed so quickly. I thought it was the other way around, though. It was going to be like, how would you lick its butthole for world peace? And I'd be like, maybe.
Don't know, yeah. Especially since we don't know.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
You're like, lick my butt. It's cool.
I'm going to come out with like a brown tongue and be like, we're going to have peace for years. And you're going to be like, it wasn't a guarantee. What? Oh,
wasn't a guarantee?
Shit.
Turn on the TV and watch the news that I don't have. No world peace. In fact, world has been thrown to chaos.
That's the news report that's just in. No world peace. Oh, man.
This just in. Man licks cat's asshole for world peace. I don't know.
All right.
It's very noble.
Eccentric in Texas says this week's scenario. You were abducted by aliens and put in an extraterrestrial game show that's been transmitted to Earth and the entire galaxy. Oh, I don't want people to see me. It's come down to one last question, which you know the answer to. The prize, if you win, is one copy of the Encyclopedia Galactica with all the galaxy knowledge of the galaxy. If you win, though, the nations of the Earth will no doubt go to war over the one copy. However, if you answer incorrectly, Earth will get the consolation prize of ultra-high-resolution video of Earth's past. We're talking the fall of Rome, the destruction of Atlantis, the construction of the pyramids, but also Earthlings will not be allowed to leave the solar system for the next 1,000 years. Do you answer the question correctly or incorrectly?
I could tell Paul's probably going to say incorrectly.
Oh.
You would probably answer it incorrectly. Huh.
No, I would answer it correctly.
Wait, I thought incorrectly just, like, lets you... Oh, it says shows, not fucking experience, right?
What do you mean?
It shows the past? You don't experience the past, right?
Yeah, it shows the past.
But we wouldn't be able to leave our solar system for, like...
1,000 years.
Oh, well, space was a big deal anyway.
See, plus, if I have the Encyclopedia Galactica with the knowledge of all of the galaxy...
But the world wars...
Yes, but if I know everything, we can end the wars pretty quickly, can't I?
Yeah, well, no, what if it's writing itself?
No, we just go to the Pentagon and we're like, here are the access codes for the Russian nuclear missiles to shut them down. Here's how we do this. Here's where the strategic locations of the other things
all
are.
The Russians.
I didn't say we'd kill them. We'd shut down their missiles.
Kill the Russians. But but okay, this is the fun part. So you give the encyclopedia to the guys, and what if they're like, okay, fucking, in their sunglasses, they click down on their faces, and they grab you by the arms, and then they put you in cuffs, and they throw you into a prison, and they take the book. Whose hands that book could land into?
Well, the other thing I could do is just put most of it online, but I don't think I would. If it's got all the knowledge of the galaxy, I would know if they're going to do that. Because that's part of the knowledge of the galaxy, right?
Well, actually, no.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
No. Well, we don't know. We don't actually know because you didn't answer the question.
And I have faith in America. I don't want to be in a world war, but if we're going to be in a world war, especially if we have all the knowledge of the galaxy.
What if Donald Trump's president?
Well, he might do that one way or the other. I doubt he will, but he could. So.
Well, if you got that encyclopedia, well, I guess I could kind of understand.
Plus, with that encyclopedia, then you could cure cancer. We could go to other solar systems. We could do all kinds of good.
You could.
So
yeah, I think I'll go with it. In the worst case scenario, you could break it.
Why would I do that?
Well, what if someone did come after you and they were like, I'm gonna kill everyone in the whole Earth because you have this.
I'm not too worried about it.
All right,
I'm amazed you agreed with me. That never happens over scenarios type thing.
It doesn't. Well, I didn't have a better horrible scenario besides what if you looked in there and then it said you liked men?
I would be like, this is bullshit. Why did I win this? I want a different prize.
Then all these people are like, oh, can we have this? No. Okay, yeah, no, I see. Well, you made a valid argument, and it wasn't. Oh, Gamerpixie, I just don't want to do this.
You say that when you want me to, like, go down on other dudes for things. You're like,
you know
offers you Skittles for a blowjob. And you're like, what?
And you're like, no, I won't take it. I'm like, what is wrong with you? God, Skittles are so good. Okay, yeah, no, I agree. I agree with Paul. Wow, we're knocking these questions out.
All right, Master Ian says, question time. Time stops for 24 hours, and you are the only person in the world who can move freely during it. If you spend the time sleeping, catching up on work, that's the first thing I would do is probably work, honestly, or doing anything else lame or boring, the great celestial time babies will come down to punish you for your insolence.
Time babies.
I like the question. Therefore, you must spend your time doing something cool or exciting. How do you spend your day?
You know, I might go to the San Diego Zoo and go pet all the animals. I don't know if that's lame.
No, that's actually a super cool idea, because, like, if they can't move and they're stopped, you could, like, touch the lions and the pandas or whatever they got. And...
yeah. Hopefully not get stuck in the lion's, cage.
Yeah, hopefully time doesn't catch up with you while you're in there.
Yeah, or maybe go... I don't know how water works when time stopped, but I would go into the ocean and swim and then see all the wildlife underwater, too.
I was gonna say, I'd go to a baseball game, then I realized, wait, that doesn't work. I'm gonna be sitting there, when do they start?
To be like in mid pitch, and you're just like, oh my god, this is gonna be a good one. We just have to wait 24 hours to see.
Honestly, I think I want to do anything really exciting, and maybe I'd streak through the neighborhood because nobody would notice. I'm like, I'm naked everywhere, or go up to the store and be like, I'm taking free food. Who's gonna know?
Dude, I would be so tempted. As a child, I always did go through those fantasies of like, what if time stopped, or like everyone disappeared for 24 hours? Like, would I go to the store and like get all the food I like? I used to have dreams that I would get locked in the store at night, and I just got to like eat all the food.
I think that's wrong that I'd use it to consider using it to steal, but I would be tempted to. The other thing it makes me think of, which I wouldn't do, but have you ever seen those Japanese time stop pornos?
Yes.
If you haven't seen those, they'll be like a guy will have a stopwatch and he hits it and everything stops. And then he'd be like, I'm going to go touch up boobies and make sexes with her.
Oh, God.
I would not do that, but like that's the first thing that question made me think of.
Did it? You freaking... You Adam Sandler, you. Ha ha. I think you did that. I don't remember.
No. So I'd either go to a baseball game and sit there dumbly until time caught up with me. When's the game going to start? Because I don't take a lot of days off, so that was my first thought. Or I'd just go steal food or run around naked.
Maybe you could, like... Do you like the hot dogs at the baseball park?
That's about the only time I'll buy a hot dogs, because we had them so much when I was a kid, because we were kind of... We didn't have a lot of money growing up, so we had a lot of mac and cheese, a lot of hot dogs, so the only time I'll have a hot dog anymore usually is at the ballpark.
I have to try a ballpark hot dog. Maybe when you make the time stop right after they made a ton of them, and then run in there and just eat as many as they can.
I like to imagine, like, time starts again and you're just covered in, like, mustard and stuff, and just like...
Feel like I'm going back to sit down. Like, what just happened? I'm like, I don't know. It's been 2 seconds for you. It's been like 24 hours for me. But yeah, go and pet the animals, I think would be cool.
I know it's not a competition, but you had the best answer for this one. I like that one a lot.
Oh, well, thank you. I don't know. Wouldn't it just seem kind of cool? And then, like, I don't know if San Diego Zoo is, they have aquatic animals, but I think they have penguins. But I was thinking about petting the killer whale. That'd be cool. The orca. Which would be SeaWorld, but still. I've always wanted to pet, like, every animal ever, but it's hard to do that. So time stopping would be quite useful in this scenario.
Oh, it's like, too, whenever you see a panda or something like that that's cuddly looking, you're like, I'd like to go cuddle that. In real life, you're not going to go cuddle one of those things. Or like a grizzly.
Hell no,
I want to give that grizzly a hug, but then it's going to eat my face off.
Oh yeah, definitely. And probably scratch itself on its claws, even though time is stopped. Depends on what awkward... Hopefully there's like, most of the animals are not going to the bathroom while time is stopped, because I don't want to go pet a crapping animal. That'd be gross. Petting pig. Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, why not? Another thing when time is stopped... Oh, man. I'm trying to think of other ones that would be kind of cool. We got wild horses here. Maybe go out and, like, find them. But I feel like these are lame.
No, that's cool. That's so weird to me, because where I live, we definitely do not have wild horses here in Michigan.
Oh yeah, we got wild horses here, and it's like it's insanity. They're the cutest little things. Well, and they're pretty big too, but they always have little ones with them, and they're so cute. And they they literally like you'll be on the highway, and we have herd crossing signs. So like when they're blinking, you have to you got to stop, or else you're gonna get like freaking run off the road by a ton of horses. But it's like the craziest thing you'll ever see. There'll be like maybe 20 or 30 horses just running across the road. It's cool.
I love how you live in like cowboy / mountain man days. You're like, yeah, I rode a grizzly today and I fell off a mountain and there was a herd of wild horses. And it sounds so cool. And you're like, and there's poisonous snakes I fought, but it's so boring here. And I'm like, oh my god, there's so much stuff going on.
Boring. Hey, I don't see wild horses every day. I see deer, but the reason I'm so excited about the horses is that I didn't know for the longest time that we did have wild horses. So when I saw them galloping across the road and it was all picturesque, like the dust was being kicked up from under the hooves, I was pretty excited. That happened not too long ago, like maybe a month ago. So they're nice.
I live in the city in Michigan. We see squirrels and an occasional raccoon if you're out late at night.
Raccoons are pretty scary and pretty wild. Have you ever seen a raccoon galloping across the road?
No, we do not have raccoon crossings here, thank God.
Raccoons are kind of scary, I must admit. Their little eyes and their hissy teeth.
Well, I think they're adorable.
I think they're cute. I like Sly Cooper from... Oh, well, this is a gaming podcast. I was gonna be like...
It's funny you said that, and then I thought the exact same thing. I was like, we've hardly talked about gaming at all in the podcast.
Oh, well, we have too much fun in games. Oh, well, I guess one thing I can talk about games is... Did you know there are... And this is, like, stupid information, but I didn't realize this till... I keep getting reminded of it. So, I'm a big Silent Hill fan, right?
Yes.
So in Silent Hill 3, I beat the game. There's beginner, I think it's beginner, easy, normal, and hard. And then there's an extended difficulty, which is called, I think it's called extra difficulty or master difficulty. Don't really remember. But I'm on extra difficulty, I'll just call it that, number 2. And there's 10 of them. And they're really fucking hard. Like, oh my god. Oh, wow. Like, I didn't realize that even existed. And, I'm having a lot of fun. Well, as much fun as possible. Like, when you're just walking and then you randomly die and you're like, why did I die? And you're like, because in extra difficulty number 2, you just randomly die sometimes if you hang out next to a bloody wall for too long. And I'm like, that's fucking insane.
Are there any bonuses for beating it that many times?
Nope. You just get the last one. And since I'm kind of a completionist, I'm like, I have to get the last one. I love cilantro. I was gonna say I love cilantro. I don't actually like cilantro, but I love Silent Hill 3, so I was like, I gotta do this.
Did you enjoy Let's Playing Silent Hill 4?
I did. I had a lot of fun, and what's nice is when a game is short enough, and also when it's, like, I don't want to say predictable, but when you can measure levels out. A game that doesn't usually have levels, but you're able to measure it in a level way, like, it's so nice when you're recording. It's beautiful.
I can relate to that. Some LPs, if you don't know how long they are, after a while can get frustrating, because you're just like, how much longer do I have to go on this?
So I luckily knew exactly how much longer I had to go, and I beat it today, and I'm so happy because I have a hard time being consistent, and I was really consistent with this one. And
haven't you been for a while though? Because you did Fran Bow and you did that, and I forget what you did prior to that.
I think I did. I think it was Resident Evil. Sorry, I keep dropping my headphone wire.
Code Veronica.
Code Veronica. Yeah, but what I mean by consistent is I'm actually like recording and uploading. I don't think I've let a week pass since I started my Resident Evil, Silent Hill 4 rather, playthrough. So
well done.
Thank you. I'm really happy about it. And the only thing that's making me slow down, besides some like stupid medical stuff, is that's it. Really. So I feel really proud of myself. I'm not like lazy about it. Like I'm really aspiring to be a Paul. I SuperPaul.
I do too many Let's Plays. In fact, I'm going to dial it back for a little while because I was doing way too many.
To. You really do have to. That's the secret of that consistency too. Is it's so much easier when you're just doing 1 or 2. I mean, if you can, because I know you did. How many were you doing? Like 5?
I had 8 to 9 going on at one time.
Oh my god!
I'm down to 5 now.
Jeez, what do you think your average is going to be? Like, what you want?
I'm guessing it will probably be 4 or 5, but some of them, like Kitty Powers, one goes up a week, and those are really easy to record. So I can sit down one night and record enough for a month. The same with like the bridge building game I get too frustrated at it. I'm like, I want to play it, and then by the time I'm done with an episode, I'm like, fuck this game. And then like a week or 2 later, I'm like, I'll do it again. So those aren't a big deal because those are once in a while. Whereas like CK2 is every day.
Whoa. Sorry, did you hear that?
Yep.
Okay, it's nothing. Go ahead.
Sims was like 3 times a week. MLB, which will be coming out late this month. I'll probably start LP next month. That'll be like 3 times a week. So that's
pretty impressive, I must say.
Well, the baseball ones are pretty easy, though. I mean, it's fun and easy.
Give yourself some credit, dude. That's pretty impressive.
Oh, thank you.
I'm not fine. And, yeah, you'll find, too, like, well, I think it's very wise of you to want to scale it down, because it is, like, so much easier just to have.
I was getting frustrated, because I got some other games I want to LP, and I haven't had a chance to do it yet. And I was just getting frustrated because I wasn't thinking about how many Let's Plays I had going on at a time, and just trying to keep up with getting new stuff out every day. For a while there, I was putting out like 3 videos a day on average, and it just that's a lot.
How long are your videos too? Aren't they like 20 to 30 minutes?
Usually they're about 20, 22 minutes, unless it's like a big sports one. I hear birds.
Sorry. The birds are tweeting. It's night. Well, actually, it's not 9 o'clock. You're 2 fucking minutes off. I'm gonna give you some time to straighten out your act before I pluck you.
That got intense quickly.
It did, but they deal with it well. They're charming animals. They're nice.
So do you have a new LP lined up, or are you waiting to decide what you want to do next?
Oh, my new LP is gonna be Nancy Drew, White Wolf of Icicle Creek.
Cool, I loved your last Nancy Drew LP.
Oh, thank you. And yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It takes place in Canada. So, I'm excited. I mean, it's a Nancy Drew game. How can you not be excited? It's probably full of, like, really dumb stuff, dumber than I remember it being, and it's just funsies. As a little sneak peek, Nancy Drew is hired on as a maid to figure out why accidents have been occurring at a, what would you call it? A lodge. Up in the mountains. So there's snow, there's possible death of hypothermia, sometimes the game is weird and you can die really quickly and you don't know why, which is also really great. I'll try and show all the death scenes in there, as much as I can. Yeah, and there's a wolf in it, so yeah. It'd be cool.
Well, I look forward to seeing that.
Thank you. I look forward to recording it.
So do you think it's that time?
I think it is that time, governor.
Everybody, I'd like to thank you all for hanging out with Gamerpixie and I on the podcast.
Thank you, you guys. I love you. That's okay, Tommy. I love you. Do you know whose voice I'm doing?
No, I don't.
Have you ever seen Rugrats?
Oh, not in a long... I never liked Rugrats, I gotta be honest.
Me neither. But Chucky was like, I don't know, Tommy. You guys have a great night.
I hated that cartoon.
Why? Because it was ugly, or
because it was boring.
It's about babies.
Maybe I was too old for it, or maybe just I like different things. But I knew some people who watched it, or maybe it was siblings. I don't remember. And I was just like, oh my god, I hate this cartoon.
My best friend loved that cartoon to pieces. Hey, another. Is that an 80s or 90s show? I do know it was in the 90s as well.
Yeah, I believe 90s. See, I liked Invader Zim. That's what I liked, or The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
I like that too. I like how the voice actor for Death is the voice actor of one of the gods from Eternal Darkness. Ha! It's great.
I love how you know that stuff. But I guess we ought to head off because I'm going to be like, tell me more nerd things. I love to hear it.
Well, you guys, thank you again for listening, and I hope you guys have a great night or day, whatever.
Goodbye.
Bye. That was gross.